Do you think the Niners still will target an offensive lineman in the first 3 rounds? Remember, the Niners have 3 picks in the first 3 rounds. They got, I'll read them off, 12, 43, and 102. What do you think?
I'm not sure if it's going to be in the first 3 rounds, but I feel pretty confident that they're going to be targeting an offensive lineman. They need to find somebody that can play center, and so that might be in the 3rd round in that ballpark. That's really the one spot that they need to add. Mac's going to be good, but at his age and with the way that his contract's structured, it's really more or less a 1-year deal, maybe 2. So they and that's the one spot they don't have a backup at right now. So I think you're going to see them go in center somewhere in the first 4 rounds, probably.
I think that they should. I know a lot of people love Quinn Miners because of the memes he provided at the Senior Bowl, but he is still very talented. And that would kind of fill the role that Jack was talking about, is you can slide him in at right guard this first year with Alex Mack at center. And if Alex Mack retires, then you can slide Quinn Miners over to center because he's been projected as a center long term. He just needs time to adjust to NFL speed coming from Wisconsin Whitewater. And I think that makes a perfect pairing right there. Is in 2022, Miners can be the center. Or if Mack comes back, you keep Miners at right guard. And if it goes another year, you do the same thing all over again. And you get to keep Brunskill as that 6th man. And that's important in this offense, especially with how many guys are injury prone, I would say, in this offense. You can slide Brunskill at right tackle, right guard, center. He could probably play left guard if you needed him to, and he could play left tackle at times too as well. So that'd be important to this team.
I can see the 49ers drafting an offensive lineman in a trade back scenario in the first 3 rounds. And maybe they will, even without trading down and picking up additional picks. I would certainly not have a problem with it if they beefed up the offensive line. I really like Wyatt Davis in the 2nd round. I would like for them to find a long-term solution at right guard. And it seems like ever since Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch stepped in, there's been a constant revolving door at right guard and not really any stability there at that position. So a guy like Wyatt Davis, Ohio State, I wouldn't mind. Quinn Miners, I like him a lot too. So I think it becomes a lot more likely if the 49ers trade down, pick up additional picks. Otherwise, I want them trying to draft impact players and capitalize on all the cornerstone players they have that can really make a championship Super Bowl push.
Unless the 49ers intend to do what they did in 2018, where they knew they were going to move on from Trent Brown, they just didn't say it. And they held on to him and then drafted McGlinchey, and everyone was like, oh, really? They didn't have a need at right tackle. And then, boom, they traded Trent Brown the next day. Unless they do that, and that's their plan for Mike McGlinchey, I don't see him drafting an offensive lineman in the first 2 days, the first 3 rounds, because they've already pretty much shown they won't draft a guard high. They could draft a center high, but I feel like they probably won't. I don't know why. I just feel like they won't, and they'll probably target that 5th round where they took Colton McKivitz last year. I mean, that's what Mike Shanahan used to do when he was with the Broncos. They would take offensive linemen late. They would take guys who weighed like 290 pounds that the rest of the league weren't really interested in, but they could move and fit their system. So I'm thinking they'll try to find some depth later in the draft, and they'll hold off on it. But that's just a gut feeling. Spencer Brown out of UNIOT, 6'9", 315, 500 bench, has been working with Joe Staley. Guy's a monster. Well, I already like him better than Mike McGlinchey, so why not?